The Nightbeat starts right now.
A missing persons case turns into a murder investigation. Police now identifying remains in a case that was first opened a year and a half ago. What the victim's family is saying now as we retrace the steps of investigators.
And police aren't calling it road rage yet, but shots were fired. One driver hit in the neck. What San Antonio police say happened before the shooting started.
Plus, San Antonio is watching Hurricane Ian. Look at that. The response being prepared to help Florida is coming up. But first, a missing man confirmed dead. It's a case that left a family searching for answers for a year and a half. It's also a case that had many reacting on KSAT's social media pages. We're talking about the case of Jacob Dubois. He was last seen in March of last year in Schertz. Today, investigators confirmed his remains were found. A number of people offered heartfelt condolences to his family and friends online. The night team's John Paul Barajas goes back to the scene to try to learn more from neighbors and Jacob's family.
Please help us bring justice for Jacob, and we would be extremely grateful for your help.
Sylvia Dubois made this desperate plea for her son back in November. Tonight, the search for Jacob Dubois is over. Canal County deputies found Dubois' remains on the 33,000 block of Stall Lane in Bulverde a few weeks ago. The discovery was made 24 miles from where he was last seen in March of last year.
The last place Jacob Dubois was seen was at his home inside the Fairways at Scenic Hills neighborhood. We spoke to numerous neighbors who didn't want to go on camera but said this is a sad story and not the way that anybody wanted it to end. As for those who did know Jacob, they said he was an amazing, funny, and talented person.
Police have not said how Dubois died, but the last person believed to have seen him, Ethan Beckman, is in custody. He's accused of tampering with evidence. Church police didn't want to go on camera today, but had this to say about Beckman in November.
Ethan then utilized several Lyft ride shares to make several trips to Walmart, purchasing items that could possibly be used in an attempt to dispose of or destroy a body.
Police tell us Beckman abandoned his car near 281 and Johnson Way, just a couple miles from where Dubois' remains were found. They add there were signs he tried to clean the car, as well as a bullet and some blood. As for the Dubois family, they weren't ready to speak, but sent a statement expressing their thanks to those who helped bring them some closure. It reads in part, "Although the loss of a son is very painful, we are so relieved that we can have some peace and Jacob is no longer lost." John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Happening right now, San Antonio police searching for the person who opened fire at another driver before driving away. Officers aren't calling it a case of road rage just yet. This happened near Zilla and McCullough, north of downtown. Police say a driver slammed on his brakes, then yelled at the driver behind him to get out. As the victim was backing that car up, police say the suspect fired 4 gunshots. One of those shots hit the victim in the neck. That person was taken to the hospital. The suspect remains on the run at this hour. Now to a Nightbeat update on that water issue in Derby. Still going on. People there are going to have running water tomorrow. That's according to their water provider. It's going to be back for the first time in almost 2 months. Can you imagine? But there's a catch here. People aren't going to be able to drink it. Derby ING owner Dario Guerra says that the provider got the part that it needed to fix the well on Friday, but he says they still need to disinfect the well, test it, and also make sure that it meets state standards. Guerra says that he's waiting to hear from the state to get that done because that's going to determine whether the water is safe to drink. As you can imagine, people in Derby are desperate. And we're going to keep you updated on what happens. And speaking of water, lower water bills could be on tap for SAWS customers. The water utility considering a change in how its rates are structured. The proposal would mean lower bills for a majority of residential customers. That's for customers who use less than 9,000 gallons a month. By the way, SAWS says on average, residential customers use 6,300 gallons a month. For them, bills could go down by nearly 9%. Those going over the 9,000 gallon threshold would pay more. Businesses could see a rise in rates for recycled water. The SAWS board and city council expected to vote on the new structure in November. If it passes, the new rate structure would go into effect in January. New tonight, he drove drunk and killed a man, and now Sergio Vasquez is taking a plea deal in that case. He was sentenced to 8 years in prison for the death of Wayne Willett. The 20-year-old victim was walking along Nacogdoches Road when he was hit back in November of 2020. His family says that he was on his way to a job interview.
Vasquez ran a red light into an intersection where Willett was walking. And now Vasquez has to serve half of his sentence before he's eligible for parole.
They say they are protesting for those students killed in Uvalde and for those who still go to school there. That day-long protest no closer to ending at this hour. 4 months after the Robb Elementary tragedy, parents of some of the victims say they are done asking for accountability from the school district. They are now demanding it. As the Night Team's Lee Waldman shows us, some parents refusing to leave the school administration building until action is taken.
It has been 18 weeks. Our children are dead, and you still have these cops rolling around here.
Families are fed up with the waiting. Now they're demanding the Uvalde CISD school district open an investigation and suspend the officers who were at Robb Elementary on May 24th.
Do your job and suspend these officers pending an investigation, and then we can go from there.
Brett and Nikki Cross were joined by other grieving parents and supporters blocking the district's central office, preventing Superintendent Harrell and other staff from entering before the family spoke with them.
77 minutes. So just as long as you guys, we've been an inconvenience to you, that's how long our kids were there.
Eventually, DPS officers escorted Harrell and other employees inside, and the Crosses say they also escorted them out around 11:30 a.m.
Hi, this is Lee Waldman with KSAT. We're outside of the admin building, wondering if we could speak with anybody.
Just a moment.
Hi, Anne-Marie. This is Lee Waldman with KSAT. This is the third time I've called you today. It's just before 4 o'clock this Tuesday.
Later, district maintenance put up these signs.
All I know is they were dropped off to us, and we were told to put them up.
Angelina Rodriguez and her daughter Dahlia drove these pink slips from San Antonio to stand with parents as they protested.
Who would y'all want to give it to first?
I would have to get with the other parents since their kids' names aren't here. But for me personally, it'd be Hal Harrell's.
Brett has no plans to leave, not even to sleep. Other parents are staying by his side.
I am not leaving this spot until they suspend them.
Uvalde City Council also met tonight. They voted to cancel a special election for former UCISD Police Chief Pete Arredondo's council seat. It's because Eloisa Medina is running unopposed for the position. In Uvalde, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Now for a look at your headlines in your Nightbeat News Flash. It's even dangerous to touch fentanyl. A local trooper did it and wound up in the hospital. DPS confirmed that trooper pulled over a suspected gang member yesterday somewhere in Bexar County. And during a consensual search, the trooper touched what appeared to be a water bottle, which exposed him to fentanyl. EMS treated that trooper with Narcan, so now he's out of the hospital, and the suspect is facing a drug possession charge. A Bexar County court judge caught with a loaded gun at the airport. Judge Rosie Speedland Gonzalez says it was an oversight. She says she was trying to catch an early morning flight September 19th and forgot that the gun was in her carry-on. It had a bullet chambered and a loaded magazine in it. San Antonio police interviewed her and she got on a flight that same day, but Speedland Gonzalez could still face a civil penalty from the TSA, and it's possible the Bexar County DA is going to review what happened. Just add this to the list of things that are getting more expensive, and that is beer. Breweries are having challenges. Part of the problem is supply chain issues, which of course started during the pandemic. That's made grain, aluminum, and carbon dioxide harder to come by. And then you have inflation. Cans are getting more expensive, along with gas, shipping, and packing materials. And that, my friends, gets passed on to you. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
A reminder now, this Friday, Governor Greg Abbott and his Democratic opponent Beto O'Rourke will face off in a debate, and you can watch it right here on KSAT 12 and on KSAT.com. We're going to have coverage leading up to the debate. We're also holding a virtual watch party for our KSAT insiders. To learn more about that virtual event, just use your phone's camera feature to scan the code that you see right now. The debate will be held in the Rio Grande Valley, where I'll be a panelist. It's actually at UT Rio Grande Valley. Again, the debate begins this Friday at 7 p.m. Election Day is November 8th.
Don't go away. Still ahead on the Nightbeat, a troubling trend when it comes to trash. The changes that San Antonio is seeing since the COVID surge and how it's impacting our landfills.
Hurricane Ian on the move. Some parts of Florida already seeing the impact.
40 years I've never left, and this is the first time we're leaving.
How San Antonio is preparing to help Florida as they face this major storm. It's next on the Night Beat. Hurricane Ian already causing power problems in parts of Cuba. Now it's on a collision course with Florida. Here at home, CPS Energy preparing to send nearly 36 employees to Jacksonville. The teams include linemen, pole crews, and safety teams. Let's take a live look at Florida right now. This is actually in Tampa, where people were told to evacuate 200 miles away. In Jacksonville, heavy rains and wind gusts expected late tomorrow through Saturday. CPS Energy crews expected to help with any potential power problems in Jacksonville. The Salvation Army says units in San Antonio and New Braunfels are preparing just in case they're needed to provide support to the Salvation Army of Florida. And more than 2.5 million people are under evacuation orders in Florida. And as time runs out, residents racing to prepare. In the Tampa Bay area, the Gonzalez family boarding up their family home before getting out.
It's time to maybe put up the plywood. We got sandbags and all kinds of anti-flooding devices that we're going to set up here in a little while.
Now, there are concerns about the storm surge and the flooding from Ian. FEMA is sending in search and rescue teams. The Red Cross prepared to open as many as 60 shelters in Florida.
You know, the pandemic changed so many things. Many of us, of course, spend more time at home. We also order more takeout. It's convenient, right? But it's also leaving more trash. Solid waste crews in San Antonio see it every day firsthand. They spoke with the Night Team's Patty Santos, who explains how all that extra junk is causing real problems.
We're seeing a lot more food waste. We're seeing a lot more takeout containers.
It's the COVID-era trash surge. Biomedical waste such as masks, gloves, and other one-time use plastic. It's taking up more space on Earth.
You put something in a landfill 100 years from now, it's still going to be there.
Josephine Valencia, deputy director with Solid Waste, says the problem has only gotten worse.
From 2019 to today, our population went up by about 3%. However, the amount of trash that we pick up went up by 9%. So the amount of trash that we are collecting is increasing higher than our population rate.
In 2018, a San Antonio household was throwing away 1.06 tons of trash a year. That's up to 1.12 tons now. It costs the city about $28 a ton.
We're looking at probably about 50 years of landfill space in San Antonio.
Solid Waste only handles residential waste, but there's been an ongoing push to educate the public on how to compost, recycle, and reduce trash.
Stop waste before it starts. You know, really think about what you're buying. Do you really need to buy that?
Here's a simple way to remember it. If your trash can be eaten by worms, like your leftover banana peel, well, that goes in green where it can turn into compost. If you have milk jugs, cans, bottles, that goes in blue. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Another step toward building a symphony for San Antonio. The San Antonio Philharmonic Board of Directors bought the former symphony's assets. That includes musical instruments, archives, recordings, a music library. The Symphony Society of San Antonio declared bankruptcy in June. Musicians from that society decided to rebuild to keep classical music alive in San Antonio. It turns out musicians from across the U.S. helping them with that effort. Several groups, including donations from musicians across the country, helped with the purchase of the music library and other assets that are being held at the Tobin Center. The San Antonio Philharmonic.
And you know, I'm sure that shot right there is music. Well, not to your ears, to your eyes. Can we say that? Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
Music to your
Adam
eyes.
Just gave me a look.
I think you just said something.
You know what?
Music to your eyes.
73 degrees out there right now. And Adam, we were just talking about this sweater weather during the morning.
You know, some folks reaching for the sweatshirt or the light jacket in the morning at the bus stop because it's going to be a little fall-like again tomorrow morning. Actually, all week long, we're looking at cooler mornings and also low humidity. This isn't just a brief stint of a fall-like feel. It's going to last all week and through the weekend, but afternoons are going to still be warm and sunny. I'll get into the specifics in a moment. Hurricane Ian, of course, nearing the southwest coast of Florida, especially bearing down in the Fort Myers area. All right, let's take a look at our temperature trend here. We'll talk about Ian in a bit, but look at our morning temperatures. Tomorrow 59, along with Thursday, Friday, down to 57 degrees. Some of the coolest air we have felt since May 26th. And that's below our average, by the way, of 67. So tomorrow morning, farther south of San Antonio, Cotulla, Tilden, Los Angeles area, close to 60 degrees, but I think we'll be in the mid and upper 50s elsewhere. Uvalde 57, Hondo 54, officially in town probably about 59. You get up into the hill country, Kerrville, Fredericksburg 48, even 55, Leon Springs, Timberwood Park, Stone Oak, about 57 tomorrow morning. So a little taste of fall, at least for a few hours around sunrise. By the afternoon, nothing but sunshine, right near 90 degrees for the high, which is a little above our average high of 87. And this trend, it continues. Both the morning lows and the afternoon highs, they're going to be pretty consistent all week long. Afternoon staying right near 90 degrees with a lot of sunshine. Now, here's the thing. We also have very low humidity. Dew points right now, we're talking upper 30s to low 40s. So very dry air, the driest air we have felt in several months around here, and it's going to stay. So yes, that's going to make it comfortable, and it allows the air to cool off very efficiently at night. We'll see those low temperatures below average, but it also means any lack of rainfall. We're not even going to have the potential for a shower at all, partially because of this dry air. Dew points, we're talking for the most part in the 40s, bouncing around from the upper 30s to the mid 40s for the rest of the weekend, even into the weekend. So that flow off the Gulf of Mexico, it's not going to kick back in anytime soon. Here's the big picture, the big upper level high pressure system, Big Blue H. It's over New Mexico and Colorado. That's influencing our weather. The whole western U.S. is under this ridge, and it pokes all the way up into southern Canada as well. So very quiet weather for the most part, just some shower activity in a trough around the Great Lakes. But of course, the focus nationwide right now is on Category 3 Hurricane Ian. And the latest update from the Hurricane Center didn't show any strengthening, but we are anticipating some strengthening overnight tonight and first thing tomorrow morning. Very well-defined eye as it's going through a bit of an eye wall replacement cycle this evening, but very defined eye, especially when you look at radar. Max sustained winds at 120, that's close to the center of the storm, and then gusts up to 150 around the eye wall. Forecast path takes it tomorrow midday-ish as a Category 4. Max sustained winds around 130 miles per hour, somewhere around the Fort Myers area. And then it, of course, dissipates as it moves inland, but it could still be a Cat 1 to even a tropical storm by the time it makes it to Orlando. Around here, quiet, dry, 59. The temperature in the morning. By the noon hour, we're at 83 degrees, nothing but sunshine all day long, topping out right around 90. And then we just basically copy and paste this forecast every day the rest of the week. And we're thinking about those folks in Florida tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. Counting our own blessings, right? That we're not dealing with that. Thank you.
All right, I am intrigued by this year's Spurs team. They're young. You don't know what to expect. It's like a blank canvas. And I'm envisioning Popovich with his palette of paints, the black canvas. Let's call him Popcasso. Getting ready for the year.
You have a very good imagination.
The work began today.
It sure did with their very first camp workout. They've actually been in the open Spurs gym for about a week anyway. But today, under the direction of Greg Popovich, and also when we come back, it's a short work week to get ready for the next game for UTSA coming up. After staging their 2022 Media Day, the Spurs got down to work this morning at their practice facility with their first training camp workout, and they don't have much time before they face their first preseason opponent this Sunday in Houston. Following the workout, one of the more experienced members of the team, guard Trey Jones, is about to start his third season in silver and black, and now one of the more veteran members of the team.
It was a good first day, I would say. We've been here, full group's been here for over a week now. Almost everybody's been here for the last few weeks just playing open gym and whatnot, so it was good to be here for open gym, start kind of build off that, but it was a good first day, good intensity, and we'll just build off that.
As a rookie class, it was good for me, Malachi, and Jeremy. Just getting the feel for it first day. Just learning a lot of stuff. Everything not going to be perfect first day. That's why we got a whole week to learn, but overall it went good today. We all enjoyed it, got better.
All right, tip-off Sunday night in Houston is set for 6 p.m.
Pro Pro football coverage. Powered by Davis Law Firm.
The Dallas Cowboys are basking in the glory of winning their first NFC East game of the season when they were able to come from behind and beat the New York Giants on the road last night on Monday Night Football. Two of the heroes of that game were quarterback Cooper Rush, who is now 3-0 as a starter, and wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. But Lamb admits he was angry with himself when he dropped his sure touchdown in the second quarter, only to make up for it when he produced the game winner in spectacular style. A one-handed catch in the corner of the end zone. Still, somehow he kept both feet in bounds, and he did it with his left hand in the 23-16 victory. What did he have to say for himself after the game?
I appreciate Kel for trusting in me and all the guys, believing in my ability. And it was tough. It was a tough, third quarter. Just kind of I kept thinking about it. All the guys just kept preaching to me to, let it go. We still got more game left. And then fourth quarter, when I kept hearing my number being called, I knew it was my opportunity again. So I had to step up.
Next up, another division opponent, the Washington Commanders, Sunday at noon in AT&T Stadium, and KSAT 12 Sports will be there. After starting their season 2-2, the UTSA Roadrunners kick off Conference USA play this week with a chance to defend their first ever title. And on paper, this will be a tough challenge, having to travel to Middle Tennessee, which just upset the ranked Miami Hurricanes 45-31, and that was after they were 25-point underdogs. Now the Blue Raiders host the Roadrunners, coming off their massive 52-24 victory over Texas Southern. The Roadrunners are 5.5-point favorites. What did the Roadrunners think about facing a team coming off that massive upset?
Any given day, anybody can beat anybody in this game. It's never set in stone. What they did to Miami when they went up there in that environment, and they played their tails off, and they had some success up there, and they won pretty comfortably, and they did do well. So it'll be a good test for us, and we're excited to accept that challenge.
All right, kickoff between UTSA and Middle Tennessee and Murfreesboro, Tennessee is set for 6:30 on Friday. Why an NFL Hall of Famer was in San Antonio today? Find out next. We got a rematch tonight at Littleton Gym, Reagan versus Clark, second round of District 28 6A play. These two teams went 5 sets in the first meeting in August. Tonight's no difference. Match tied at 2 sets apiece. Ariana Robertson goes for the back line and gets the call. Cougars lead 11-7 in the fifth. Rattlers return fire. Maya Allen blasts one off the block and down. Reagan cuts the deficit down to 1, 11-10. But Clark closes the match on a 4-0 run. Senior captain Caitlin Whitlock gets her push shot to fall. The Cougars stay undefeated in district with a 3-2 victory. In District 29 6A, good matchup between 7-1 Harlan and 5-3 Brennan at Paul Taylor Fieldhouse. Bears trying to battle back at the first set. Gianna Brown sends that one back, and Brennan trails by 6, but the Hawks return fire, and Nia Joseph with a thunderous spike. Harlan takes the first set 25-16, and they sweep the Bears 3 sets to 9. Look who is in San Antonio today. Hall of Famer Drew Pearson, the former Cowboys wide receiver, was a guest speaker of the San Antonio Quarterback Club today at the meeting at the Quarry Golf Club. Pearson, who was close friends with the late legendary broadcaster Gary DeLon, in town to help raise money for Gary's scholarship fund to help future broadcasters.
When I got out of football, he was my mentor in broadcasting. He helped me out in so many ways. He was the one that got me the weekend sportscaster job with no experience here in San Antonio with one of the leading stations here in the market. But he had faith in me, and then through that we developed a friendship, and that friendship lasted until the end.
It sure did. And Drew and I have that in common in our broadcast careers. Gary DeLon was very much a part of our success. And if you would like to help a future broadcaster, go to the Gary DeLon Memorial Scholarship Fund, and you can make that donation in any Frost Bank location. I credit Gary with a lot of what happened that's good in my career, and I know Drew does too.
Always enjoyed seeing Gary DeLon when you're out and about.
And he was such a magnanimous guy with everybody.
Great storyteller.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
We love hearing about good people in the business too. Awesome. We'll be right back after this. It's never too early to start thinking about the weekend. Starting this Saturday, Kerrville's Parks and Rec Department is going to kick off Movies in the Park. Hotel Transylvania is going to be playing at Louise Hayes Park on Saturday. Movies begin around 8 p.m., free to get in, and we have all those details for you online at KSAT.com.
All right, obviously the city of Kerrville knows something. This great weather.
Yes.
Then they start their Movies in the Park.
They've been paying attention.
They know something. Maybe they have a Caskey hookup or something.
Maybe.
Get the inside info. See you tomorrow.
Good night.